You were the one who supported them. They chose an emotional vampire. They settled for someone out of fear. They feel like they are trapped with no way out. You were their rock. They feel like they ruined something very special that shouldn't have been ruined. You know who this is if it's for you. They know that you were way more special than they realized at the time, whenever this happened. Creeping. Watching your profile, or more than that. Some of them might be local to you, so you might be seeing them places and wondering if it's an accident. There are some orchestrated meetings, although nothing really happens by accident. Some meetings are planned, others are not. It could, after a while, be that you're just afraid of seeing the person, or you don't want to, then you end up seeing them. I know that sounds crazy, but... Okay. Moves in silence. Inside scoop. Closer look. Nosy. Up in your business. Yeah, that's what I mean. Screenshot. Caught in 4K. Dodging bullets. Escaping bad energy. Always partying. Bad habits. This is all giving me someone who took a lot from you. Didn't care how much they were always partying. And it wasn't partying literally. It was just not taking things seriously. They tried to move in silence, but there were screenshots. Whether you have seen the screenshots, look, they're sort of in fear of that. That's what's going on. They're in fear of you seeing screenshots. They think if you saw some kind of evidence that you definitely wouldn't want them back. But they don't think it's fair. They don't know if you've seen this or not. Always partying, bad habits. That's what you got to understand is there are a lot of good aspects to this person. This was someone you really had a connection with, at least at one time. It may have fizzled over time, but there was a deep connection. And what ended things to begin with was either some kind of doubt or, disloyalty in some way, even though you perhaps weren't even trying to be together. Maybe it wasn't exclusive, but there was still some kind of disloyalty. Could have even been friendship-wise. This is a person who wants to get away with a lot. Yeah. They want to get away with a lot. And the person they've chosen, this emotional vampire, settling, like they feel like they settled, but here's the thing. They had to. Not that they couldn't have just chosen to be alone or whatever, but like I said, could be friendship. But someone had to settle because no one else wanted them after this whole partying, bad habits. They don't have a good reputation, in other words. Really bad reputation. Creeping. Looking to see if they can fix things. Looking for some kind of opening. Wanting to know if it's really too late. If there's anything they can do at all. Ego. Hurt ego getting in the way of the relationship. Wow. A lot of fear. Also, this person doesn't want to admit they've settled. A lot of fear about that. A lot of fear about what people would think. Because unfortunately, this screenshot card that came out, this is someone who has shared a lot of their life on social media when they shouldn't have. Okay? It's not like the one video or post or whatever that got them in trouble. It was just over and over again. It was like this person flaunted something and expected it to not catch up to them. Yeah. You know who it's about if it's for you, okay? It doesn't have to be for you, but let me go to this Dead Inside Oracle deck, just see what kind of advice it has. It has some really good, interesting spiritual advice, and it could be advice for both of you. Not that you have to even be involved with this person. No thoughts, just vibes, dissociation, emptiness, floating, convincing yourself it's fine, denial, emotional suppression. Shadow work. Tomorrow maybe resistance, spiritual procrastination. This is telling me this is someone who kind of interfered with your vibe anyway. Just like you need some kind of consolation or just knowing that encouragement that you made the right decision to not take this person back, because it could have been fixed. Things could have been different if you had allowed it. Like I said, they picked the person or the situation, the friend, whoever, who would tolerate their behavior. because you may have tolerated it for a while, then you just couldn't. You get pushed to a point where you physically just can't, or financially, or whatever. Breaking point. That's what I just keep getting for this, is there was some kind of breaking point. And they interfered with your vibe, like this convincing yourself it's fine. No thoughts, just vibes. Like, they had your head twisted, like your mind. They took a lot more of your energy than you might realize, is what I mean. We don't realize a lot of times until after we're out of a situation what it was like to be in it, because you get used to it. It's a slow thing, you know? And so when you're suddenly out of it or away from it for a while, you might go back to it, even thinking about it. Like, have you ever done that? Like, moved out of a bad situation, and then even just a few weeks later, had to go back and revisit that same house, situation, whatever it was. And all of a sudden, everything comes back, and you're like, whoa, I'm so glad I left here. That's what I'm getting, is it's like a real so glad I left here vibe, okay? That if you were to go back to this, you'd realize there's nothing to go back to. And this person may be reminiscing to themselves about what it was like to be with you, because it felt easier. You felt easier. Like I said, it's because you let them get away with things, or you saw the best in them. I'm not going to say that you were easy to trick, but again, you saw what you wanted to see, or saw the best in them. There might be times when you let them get away with things, trying to be merciful, and eventually they just wore you out. But they're getting worn out themselves. They're going through what they need to go through. They're having the life that they need to have right now so that they can experience something new. I've never felt like this before. This is what they would say to you, because like I said, they're reminiscing because things were easier. Okay? Things feel hard right now because this person who they chose might be reaching a brick wall, or they are receiving a taste of their own medicine. Someone is using the same tactics on them, like basically learned their tactics and is using that against them. You may be seeing evidence on social media or have heard something, but it's not in your head, okay? It's not in your imagination. You left when I needed you. I choose you. See, they think you left. Like, they're forgetting that there's a whole part of this that they brought on themselves. You left when they needed you. They didn't care about what you needed. They didn't care. I choose you now. Like, really looking back on this situation as though they should have nurtured it, but instead they feel like they let it get out of hand, and that it's just too far gone now. Another thing they feel is too far gone is the relationship they're currently in. Like, they can't just end it. They're wrapped up too deeply. What is the spiritual advice you need about this? This person really is exhausting and exhausted. You will not be deceived. That's if they come around, okay? But I'm getting a vibe here that some of you might feel like this person has deceived you just by being able to hide things, or this whole thing, like I said, you may have known all along, but you're like, your spirit told you, but your intuition is strong. I was just going to tell you. It was divine intervention, not luck. Like, you overlooked things because you wanted to see the best thing, the best in this person, but your intuition will guide you. You have a very strong intuition, and it was divine intervention, not luck. Whatever you saw or noticed about this person, it was really, this was a guide for your intuition, that same feeling. Because I know that when you were going through this, because I am getting a feeling like some of you, like everything was going well until you got some evidence of something. I know some of you had a quiet knowing about it all along, like you're just a gut feeling, and you need to just go with that, okay? You need to go with that. This experience will teach you to go with that even more. Last card. What's the positive energy we need? A good positive affirmation. You attract healthy relationships. That tells me this wasn't healthy. So may you attract that, put out the vibe of that, the energy of someone who attracts really good relationships, ones that are healthy, ones where people give as much as you do, okay? You attract healthy relationships. It is spoken, it is written, and so it is. Amen.